It's a thrill to be here. And I wanted to start by saying thank you, really. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the invite. And thank you for your readership over the years. Happy Father's Day. Fathers in the audience, we appreciate you guys all coming. And also the sacrifices your family made with you, like, sort of being present on Father's Day, but then getting here. So thanks for joining. Please link in with me. Feel free to send me a note. I would love to stay in touch. I'd love to hear about your businesses. I'd love to hear about not only your professional journeys, but your personal journeys, because we're all here on a personal journey. And I'm on LinkedIn every day, and I'd love to hear about your story, and I'd love to stay in touch. Andrew covered a little bit about me. My career has mostly been in journalism, blogger, angel investor, entrepreneur. My current focus is three things. Mentori Ventures is an incubator for startups. The first two things we've incubated is Channel Angels, which invests in this community. We're very proud to be associated with Roost and others in the room, so thank you for that. And then Sustainable Tech Partner covers the green IT services market. If you're interested in that, talk to me off stage. And then previously, I was very fortunate to work with a business partner, Amy Katz, where we launched, built, and sold several media brands. And I'm forever thankful for those years. So for those who have read me over the years or read our sites, thank you so much from the heart. You helped to put three boys through college, and you helped to support my family. So thank you. I'm going to cover the following in 7 minutes or less, not 15, just to make sure we stay on time. My job here over the next 2 days essentially is to get out of the way, to make sure we stay on time, and to make sure we break down this virtual wall between me, the stage, and you. We want to make sure that you guys stay engaged, informed, ask your questions, etc. But I did want to set the table just a little bit in terms of why we're here, and a little bit of an overview to help set the mood for the conference. I'm dating myself a little bit with a few of my slides. You know, a Springsteen reference. I just recently got back into Bruce, grew up with him, and why are we here? And I wasn't looking for this quote, but I stumbled onto it. And I'm not going to read it to you. I want you guys to read it. Take a few seconds there. But this quote sort of summarizes, he's talking about music, but it summarizes our industry. We've been insanely fortunate in the MSP space to come together and learn over and over again, whether it was the shift to recurring revenue, the shift to managed services, the shift to cloud, and now the shift to automation and hyper-automation. And I just thought it was a wonderful quote that captured the essence of why we're all here. So swap out music and put in MSP, and here we are. Another slide that dates me, Field of Dreams, which it's a movie about baseball, but it's really a movie about family and your dad. And I lost my dad in the last year. And I say that not to be sad, but to celebrate the fact that, my dad was on a wonderful journey, not only as a family man, but as an entrepreneur. And his entrepreneurialism helped our entire family to move forward. And I think I see that over and over again in this room with what you do not only for your businesses, but for your families and for your employees. And we've all been on this shared journey. And if you go on this journey, we've all believed the SMBs, the customers, will come. So what has that journey been? I apologize to the dozens of sources that are not on this slide, but I just wanted to pick a few that really capture the essence of the journey that we've all been on. And, if you go back to the early days of the PC, yes, Microsoft won, but there were others who sort of built MS or DR-DOS and other things like that. And I think it's very similar in the MSP software market, where Level Platforms was one of the early players and didn't necessarily become the de facto RMM standard. Others beat them to that market share. But Peter Sanford, the founder there, he coined that phrase, or the company coined the phrase, see all, manage all. And many of the veterans of level platforms, including Rob Ray, who'll be here, are sort of the people who carried us all forward. But I think it all started with see all, manage all, as sort of a mantra for this industry. And another example is Ballmer. Like Steve Ballmer got so much wrong at Microsoft, but he at least went all in on the cloud and helped to pull us forward. And we all knew how Arnie helped us all along multiple times on multiple waves, including the cyber wave. And I'm paraphrasing that quote from Paul Dipple there. But basically, whether it's Paul or Arlen Sorensen, they always talk about understanding your math. Gary Pica always talks about the math of this industry. And if you got to figure out your math, and once you figure out your math financially, everything else can fall into place. And if you bring it forward to today, I think it's not about see all, manage all, but it's also automate all. But I put a little clarifier there. Not all at once. We want to be careful here. Like, we want to automate and we want to do it right, but we don't want to do it all at once. And I wanted to share a few lessons from the enterprise, some lessons learned there, because I think some of you in the room may not even be started with next generation automation, whether it's RPA or AI, et cetera. I wanted to assure you that a lot of the automation proving ground really is proven. You look at companies in the enterprise like Automation Anywhere, UiPath, they're massive, really massive. And their customers are having great success. So up in the enterprise, all these things have been happening for give or take for a decade. And to my delight and pleasure, Roost and others came along in the MSP market to bring about similar trends in the SMB space. I also wanted to offer some clarifiers and some warning signs about the AI space. I'm a believer, no doubt. And in addition to all these little data points here in terms of who's investing what, I wanted to offer this caveat. I'm a small-time angel investor. I'm a small fish in a massive pond. And yet, even I've been approached at this point to invest in OpenAI and Anthropic, which suggests to me that the valuations are way too high right now, and it could get a little scary. If even I can get a seat at the table as a relatively unknown angel investor, the market may be overheated. And these are some of the warning signs and lessons learned, whether it's cost, energy, or security. The energy one is very interesting. We've been covering it on Sustainable Tech Partner, just talking about the massive energy requirements that are going to be required with AI. And it's my thesis that MSPs are going to get into managed energy services. But that's a conversation for a later time. So those are the lessons up in the enterprise. Bring it down here. Here are some of the data points. I just wanted to whet your appetite for what Aaron and team have been up to at Roost. These are all real-world metrics. It's happening. It's real today. And Aaron will go into greater detail in terms of some of the trends he's seeing in the market. But again, I wanted to stress this is about the interaction. Please be sure to ask everyone up on stage your questions. Grab us in the hallways, et cetera, if you need introductions. By the way, I'm terrible in group settings and talking, ironically. Like, I'm very comfortable on stage, but I may not reach out to you in a hallway. If you want to reach out to me, that's great. I love it. I don't know what it is with me. I'm more of an observer, and I will talk when approached, but I sometimes don't approach people, which is ironic since I'm a reporter and editor. But in terms of today's agenda, I won't read every one of these things bullet by bullet, but I wanted to just emphasize Roost and all the organizers and sponsors have very kindly kept this very simple for you. All the content is in here today. There are plenty of breaks. There's plenty of food. There's going to be a pub crawl tonight. And that's my timer to get off stage, which is perfect. But everything really is right here, all the food, everything. So please stay with us in this area, and we will make sure we get you connected with the right people if and when you have questions. After lunch, I'll go into the afternoon content a little more. But I did also, even that pub crawl later today, it's right next door. So don't feel as if when we disperse, suddenly you're lost. We're all right here.